On March 11th, 2011, a major earthquake of magnitude 9 hit the Tohoku region. In addition, the tsunami that followed the earthquake devastated the coastal areas of Iwate, Miyagi, and Fukushima prefectures. No words can convey the grief and anxiety that come from the loss of family members, friends, homes, and jobs. From the day after the earthquake, ChildFund Japan began receiving inquiries from our sponsors and donors, our ChildFund Alliance members, and many others on how to support the areas affected by the earthquake and tsunami. With their vision of a global society that ensures every child the opportunity to develop their full potential, ChildFund has been serving the impoverished and vulnerable children of Asia since 1975. ChildFund Japan is a member of ChildFund Alliance, which consists of 12 member organizations. All member organizations help impoverished or vulnerable children globally without regard to race, religion, or ethnic group. From Japanese donors and sponsors, ChildFund Alliance members, the Filipino and Nepali sponsored children, and ChildFund Japan's overseas offices, requests and inquiries flooded in about how to extend assistance to the children affected by the disaster. Dynamized by such appeals, ChildFund Japan launched its emergency relief and reconstruction projects. These are our 6 emergency relief and reconstruction projects. Our first project aimed to deliver emergency goods to the affected area. We urgently wanted to procure and deliver food and basic goods needed by the victims, so we rushed to the disaster areas. Also at Ofunato Church, ChildFund Japan supported the distribution of emergency goods to the people. At the same time, ChildFund Japan started the production of a handbook for psychological care of post-disaster children in collaboration with Japan Lutheran College. Millions of children affected by the Great Tohoku earthquake are in need of emotional care. The handbook aims to give some advice to mothers, teachers, and other caregivers who interact with children every day. The handbook was uploaded onto the websites of Japan Lutheran College and ChildFund Japan and has been downloaded more than 10,000 times. There have been many requests for the handbook, and approximately 14,000 copies have been printed and distributed. Furthermore, the handbook has been translated into English, Mandarin Chinese, Korean, and Tagalog for non-Japanese residents in Japan.
すごい誰が読んでも分かりやすい手引きですごいよくできてるなと思ってて、ここにいろんなプログラムなんかが載ってるんですけども、そこまでやる研修っていうかテキストってなかなかなかったので、こういうふうにしていけば癒されるっていうか、なんかそういうのですごい私はテキストはすごいいいなと思いました。
ChildFund Japan staff visiting an elementary school after the disaster.
で当日は高台の大船渡中学校の方に避難しまして、その日は教職員21名とあと子どもたち次々とあと保護者が迎えに来まして、お家の方にお渡ししたんですけども、60名ぐらいがその晩体育館の方で泊まりまして、中学校の体育館
There are children who have lost their family members, friends, and home. "We are with you" messages were delivered with sets of stationery to bring smiles back to the children's faces. In aiming to effectively carry out assistance in Ofunato City, Iwate Prefecture, ChildFund Japan established a base in Tono City. Student volunteers from Rakuno Gakuen and Aoyama Gakuin University are staying at ChildFund Japan's Tono base to carry out emergency and reconstruction projects. A meeting at Tono base. What are the needs of the people who are affected by the disaster? Grasping their needs accurately is our first step towards helping them.
震災直後の1週間とかの時に必要なものと、その後だんだん必要になってくるもの、それから1ヶ月目2ヶ月目でもう3ヶ月過ぎてる。時間が経つにつれて被災した人たちのニーズってだんだん変わっていくわけ。
Registering at the Disaster Volunteer Center, ChildFund Japan was asked to conduct a field survey in order to carry out activities to meet the actual needs of people affected. ChildFund Japan staff and volunteers visiting temporary houses, listening to every word to identify what problems are faced by the residents. Grounds of a junior high school where temporary houses are built or which is used as a waste site for debris. There are baseball club members in junior high schools in Ofunato City who cannot practice as they had hoped to. ChildFund Japan sponsor and former star player with the Yomiuri Giants, Mr. Kazunori Shinozuka, organized baseball classes for these children at a spacious playing field.
やっぱり挑戦していく、トライしていく。できるようになってくればバッティングって楽しくなる。
Some after-school care program facilities have been devastated. A space where children can turn their minds to having fun is invaluable. The children had been deprived of such place. The after-school care program began at a temporary location, and ChildFund Japan and Aoyama Gakuin University student volunteers rushed to help those children.
最初に私たちが依頼を受けているのは大船渡市の災害ボランティアセンターから仮設住宅での地域づくりを手伝ってほしいと。で大船渡市の社協としてはとにかくここで孤立化してしまう、それからましてや孤独死を起こしたくない、これはこの仮設住宅だけではなくて全ての仮設住宅でそれでそういう流れでですね初等部の先生がベンチとそれからテーブルを設置してですね、そしてお茶を飲むようなスペースを作ったらどうかと。
ChildFund Japan was asked by the local government of Ofunato City to develop a sense of community within temporary housing complexes. Benches and tables were installed to serve as a meeting place for all the residents. Benchmaking began during a heat wave. Seeing volunteers busily making benches and tables, veteran former carpenters offered to lend a hand with the production. Yuto, whose home was washed away by the tsunami, seems to gradually begin enjoying work with power tools. A plan to enjoy a summer festival was discussed with temporary housing residents associations, and then preparations began. ChildFund Japan staff and student volunteers knocked on every door to invite temporary housing residents to come to the summer festival.
祭りのチラシなんですけれども、
夏祭り
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 はい、明日そこの駐車場のところで夏祭りを行うんですね。よかったら皆さんでいらしてください。
The day of the summer festival has arrived. Newly made benches are transported to the venue. May these benches bond the people in the temporary housing complex. May there be many encounters and may the people enjoy conversation. These are the prayers of the bench makers. Still only 5 months after the tsunami, the summer festival seemed to provide an unexpected enjoyment for the temporary housing residents.
最初検診でしょ。すごい。
4時半頃イカ持ってきてくれるって。本当ですか？
イカの化粧な。
いいんですか？ありがとうございます。
持ってくるみんな。
それちょっと待ってますね。みんなに伝えておきます。
俺の中残してよ。
もちろんです。
このベンチも私たちが作ったんです。はい、ここで今1週間ぐらい、1週間2週間ぐらいここでベンチ作ってたんです、私たち。
ご苦労さんだね。
皆さんお知り合いなんですか？
ここで会った人たち。はいはいはいはいはい、全然わかんない人が一緒にいるんですよ。はい。暑いけど。
A few weeks after the summer festival, socialization and recreation areas were established for the temporary housing residents. People brought their own pickles and snacks to enjoy the simple pleasure of conversation. Knowing that you are not alone, this was the first step towards developing a sense of bonding in the temporary housing community. In response to the high level of interest created by the Handbook for Psychological Care of Post-Disaster Children, ChildFund Japan organized workshops for caregivers who interact with children and programs for those professionals who support the affected people.
表面的にはみんな元気にしてるんですね。で私は心が元気なのかなと思ったんですね。現実に学校の中にいる時間帯でしたので、子どもたちは津波が来るのを見た子たちもいますし、逃げたっていう経験をしてるんですけど、実際に悲しいとかそういう表情は出さなかったんですね、私たちリーダーの前で。だから通りいっぺんに岩手の子どもたちって強いんだなというふうに思ってしまったんです。僕が宿題をしないからお母さんが死んじゃったとか、私が悪い子だったからおばあさんが津波で死んじゃったって、そういうふうに子どもって受け止めるんだっていうことをお聞きしましたときに、これはぜひともみんなで共通理解して乗り越えなきゃいけないって、そういうふうに思いました。
Even during testing times, smiling children encourage family members and other adults. Smiling children, a symbol of hope. Smiling children, a symbol of the future.
いろんな人がいっぱい来て賑やかで楽しかった。学童に、人がいっぱい来てくれて楽しい。遊んでくれてすごく嬉しかった。すごい嬉しい。被災したからなんか学童変わって、なんかちょっと静かだと思ったんだけど、でもみんな元気で明るいところだったからいいと思った。
We may have lost so much because of the earthquake, but it is also true that there have been many unexpected and invaluable encounters and bonding created by this crisis. Ensuring every child the opportunity to develop their full potential. That is ChildFund Japan's goal. We are with you. You are not alone. What we can do may be limited, but we are never going to leave you alone.